Hi guys, today we're going to talk about Section 2-4, writing linear equations. At the end of the lesson, you'll be able to write linear equations by being given certain attributes of the equation. Let's get started. So first of all, there are a couple of formulas. Hopefully you kind of get the idea by now. The first one is standard form. Then we would move on to slope-intercept form, which this one tells me that m is my slope and b is my y-intercept. We have these attributes at this point. One that you may be familiar with, but you probably forgot a little bit about, is point-slope form. In this one, m is still the slope. So m is still the slope. But this x1 and y1 that we have here, right here, is given to us by a point. So the x1 and y1 is a point. So that's literally why it's called point slope, because to do it, you're given a point and you're given the slope. So let's see what that might look like. For this first example, we're going to write an equation in slope-intercept form, which is y equals mx plus b. This isn't too challenging to do given a graph. This graph gave me 2 points. It said -4, -1, and 0, -2. So if ever you're given a point that has 0 first as your x value, then that point is your y-intercept. So the only thing we have to do is realize the slope. The slope on this one, because it is a graph, we can use rise over run to figure that out. I personally like to always start on the left point and move my way to the right point. So notice I have to go down 1 and right 4. So down 1 is -1 and right 4 would give me that 4. So it's going downhill, so my slope is negative. My y-intercept is right here. It's where my graph crosses the y-axis, or I could notice by my points it's listed here. It's -2. So y equals mx plus b, -1/4 x minus 2. So for this next one, I want you to go ahead and pause the video, see if you can come up with the answer on your own. Check that out. I hope you got it correct. For this next one, I also want you to see if you can come up with the answer on your own. Realize that you're given 2 points. From that information, you should know how to come up with your slope. And then after that, you're given the y-intercept. So try it. Check it out. Did you get it right? I sure hope so. For the example 2 that I'm going to work out with you, we're going to write this equation, but we're given a slope and just 1 point this time. So whenever you're given a slope and 1 point, your best bet is to go with point-slope form. So x1, y1. And then this would be my m. What I'm going to do is write out the formula just so we can recall what that looks like. Y minus y1 equals m times x minus x1. Where x1 and y1, that's that point right there. And don't forget to notice that this minus is built into the formula. So you need to pay careful attention to that. So y minus y1. So y minus -2 equals m, which is -4, times x minus x1, which is 6. So let's see what happens here. It just says to write an equation that goes through this, but realistically what I'm asking for is in slope-intercept form. So I want to convert this to slope-intercept form, y equals mx plus b. So let's see what we'd have to do. This would really become y plus 2 equals -4x. Negative times negative is positive. And then I'm going to subtract 2 on both sides to isolate y. Once I isolate y, if you notice, I am in slope-intercept form. Okay. Why don't you try this one on your own? Go ahead and pause the video here. All right, I really hope you were able to get that one on your own. Try this one. How'd you do? I hope it was well for you. We're going to do this next example together. Example 3, write an equation, give 2 points. That should be given. Okay, excuse me, guys. Write an equation of a line passing through each of these points. So let's see. I'm given 2 points, so what do I know? I know that if I have 2 points, I can come up with the slope. So let's go ahead and label these. x1, y1, and x2, y2. Don't forget your formula for slope. I'm going to subtract the y's. And subtract the x's on the denominator. Subtracting the y's, let's see. -3 minus 7 over 3 minus -2. So -3 minus 7 is -10 over negative. So I have 3 minus -2. Remember, this basically becomes +2. So over 5. So my slope is -2. That's one thing that I realized. My slope is -2. What else I realized is that I labeled these points x1, y1, x2, y2. So I have points and I have a slope. So let's use point slope form to come up with our answer. I'm going to write down the formula. So let's plug in, I'm going to just go with this x1, y1. You can really choose either one, it doesn't matter. But I've already labeled this as x1, y1, so that's what I'm going to use. Y minus y1, which is 7, equals m, my slope is -2, x minus x1, which is -2. Alright, so I have y minus 7 equals -2x. I'm going to distribute that. And really, just think about this as minus negative is like +2. So therefore, I'm going to distribute -2 times +2 is -4. And then I add 7 to both sides. So y equals -2x plus 3. All right, here's another example. We're going to go ahead and do this one together. Hopefully it goes a little bit smoother. Let's see. I have 2 points, so let's go ahead and start off by finding the slope. I'm having troubles here with my pen. So x1, y1, x2, y2. And let's see what happens. So let's subtract the y's. 6 minus -7, or we can go ahead and change that to +7. And then I have 4 minus 4. So let's see, 6 minus -7, or 6 plus 7 is 13 over 0. Well, that is, when I have a 0 on the denominator, that is undefined. Since this slope is undefined, the only thing we could really do, we can't put it in slope-intercept form or even point-slope form because it doesn't have a slope. The only thing we could do is notice that when we have an undefined graph, it's undefined because it is a vertical line. So we basically have to figure out what x equals, and it's given to us right here. X is equal to 4. So my equation is x is equal to 4. Okay. Go ahead and try this one. Pause the video. How are you doing? Did you get it? I sure hope so. Try this one. I hope you got it. Let's keep moving. All right. Try this last one on your own. All right, if you have any questions on any of these questions that I'm asking you to do on your own, then let me know when I get back to class. Or you can message me on Remind or on email. Here's another thing we need to talk about. Parallel lines, you know what they are, but did you realize they have the same slope? Parallel lines have the same slope. Perpendicular lines, they have what we call negative reciprocal slope or opposite reciprocal slope. Opposite reciprocal. Oh my goodness. Of course this would happen. Opposite reciprocal slopes. All right, so if these two lines are parallel, and I'm just kind of estimating here because I can't really tell what they are. Let's just say that this one is 2x plus 7. Then I can assume that this one has the same slope, 2x plus, it would just have a different intercept. I'm going to say that that is 1. It could be 0, not 100% sure. Well, with opposite reciprocal slopes, if I can't really go based on this example, I'm just going to tell you. If I have opposite reciprocal slopes, say my original slope was 3/4, my equation is y equals 3/4 x plus 7. 7 is kind of stuck in my head today. Then if I had another line with the opposite reciprocal slope of this, the opposite would be me changing it from positive to negative, so it would be negative, and the reciprocal is me flipping the fraction, 4/3. I would know that my slope is negative 4/3 because the opposite reciprocal would be changing the sign and flipping the fraction. So let's see how that works out. Write an equation of a parallel or perpendicular line. So what we're going to do is write an equation in slope-intercept form that passes through this point, 5, -6, and it's perpendicular to this line, y equals -3/2 x plus 7. So, first of all, we have a point, and we have a slope. We just kind of have to work with that slope a little bit. Let's work it out. So if my original slope is -3/2, then my perpendicular slope, hopefully you remember that the upside down t represents perpendicular, means I change this from negative to positive, and then I flip it. So positive 2/3. So I have a slope, I have a point. Let's use point slope form. So y minus -6 equals m times x minus 5. Let's work it out. This is really y plus 6 equals 2/3 x minus 10/3. And then I'm going to subtract 6 from both sides. But in order to do that, what I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and convert 6 to a common denominator. If I'm going to make 6 have a common denominator as these, this is what I have to do. It's really 6/1. My common denominator is 3, but to get that denominator, I had to multiply this by 3, so I multiplied the top by 3 as well. So I'm going to subtract 18/3 on both sides. So I have 2/3x minus 28/3. All right. And this last one, go ahead and try it out. Pause the video and then check it. How did it go? Did you get it right? Let me know in the comments. I'm just kidding. There's no comments. All right. Y'all have a good day. I'll see y'all on Monday.